Hello. With Oracle Analytics, users can create datasets that combine multiple files, data files, into a single model, just as if they were combining database tables. Let's review how to do this. Let's create a new dataset, and we're going to select dragging a file, a local file from my own computer, in this case an Excel spreadsheet with sales data. So I'm uploading this Excel spreadsheet into OAC. Here's a preview of it, and I click OK. And here is my file, and I can modify it. I can also add additional external data from a connection to a database, for instance, or more files, simply more files from my local environment. So let me pick another file, which is state information, and uploading my state data, and it makes it into my model, and it automatically joins with the other file. So at this point, I have my two files that are joined by a column that the system recognizes as the most appropriate to join by, but I can still influence and change that join, change the join type from inner to full outer to anything. So at this point, I'm starting to build my own data model just by using files that are on my local computer. In fact, we can even add files that are sitting on remote connections, such as Google Drive, for instance. Here's my Google Drive connection with my own files. So I'm going to bring it into my models. I have 3 files in that Google Drive, and I'm going to drag one of them into my model here. It's a copy of the state data, but this one is sitting on Google Drive. And again, I can do some joining, different joining here if I'm interested. It's just sitting on a different source, but I'm building a model made up of files. I'm going to set the sales data to become the fact table by clicking on preserve grain. So just to indicate the model that we have a fact aggregation table. Now let me just save this data set and navigate back to my home page. And here I can see that I have this data set, but I do not have the different files. I have only a single data set. So I can open it. And here let's briefly build a visualization that involves the 3 data sets. So sales from the fact table, and then let's say country from the states table, and then let's take region from the Google Drive table. Let me make this become a stacked bar chart. And here we go. Our visualization combines objects from the 3 different sources in different locations. I can easily change this to a map and represent this in multiple visualization in OAC. So this is the extent of the feature that allows to have multiple files in a single data set. Now, this can be leveraged in many different ways, using files or using tables. And one use case I want to take as an example is to upload the same file twice in a single data set. Why could we need this? For example, to represent sales and last year's sales in the same tabular result. We could resolve this easily using that modeling. Let me show you. So first, let me bring that same sales data file once more within my data model. And I'm going to call it sales data of last year. Now, I'm going to represent the last year aspect by joining on a year column. Let me quickly build that year column as a calculation in each dataset. So in my current year dataset, I'm creating a date called year. And in my last year dataset, I'm creating the same date, which I'll call the previous year, which is year function of the order date, +1, so that any record in that file joins to the current year data with an increment of 1 year. So that will generate a previous year data. So I just have to modify my join here and select the right column. So for the sales data, it's year. And for the sales data last year, it's previous year. And I'm going to set it up with a left outer join, so I get all the data for current year, but obviously I don't have last year for every year because it's the same file. So I just have to save it, go back to my canvas, and now I can build a simple visualization with current year sales data with the year column. And here we have the folder for sales data last year as well, as you can see. And I'm going to drag my sales column. I should have renamed it, but I didn't take the time for it. Now we see that we have sales last year in front of each of the current year. Thanks for watching that video.